It is a scam when you don't allow everyone to operate on fair terms.
We are the Robin Hoods of sports betting. We take something back from the rich bookies and enable our customers to beat them instead.
I know you've got a good story about what you were talking about just before, about the inability of, or the bookmakers not being allowed to void bets where they've got the lines very wrong. Tell me about that bet you sent me a week ago, I think it was.
Yeah, well, I mean, some time ago, before I was like completely banned by William Hill, which is like, I'll say it on this podcast like publicly, they're the worst sports book to ever be around. Nobody likes them. But I was betting a lot of soccer there. Their market was just like completely inefficient. Like it was just crazy. Like stuff that should be priced at like 1.9, I could get for like $3 at times. and like this was like every weekend. Like towards the end of my betting account, like before they shut everything down, they started obviously catching on to more like what I was doing based on my, betting patterns. But one thing that I don't like about William Hill's app that the other sports books don't have is that once you submit a bet and your account is already flagged, they put your bet in a queue, so it's not automatically approved. It goes to a trader. So one time that kind of backfired on them. And so I believe it was like it was the under 20 World Cup third place match. It was between Ecuador and Italy. Ecuador was sitting around like 2.1 in the market on Pinnacle. The limits were decent. And I was getting like 2.4. So not like a monster bet, but I was like, okay, it's a good value bet. I'll push it through in William Hill. So decent edge, but because they do that queue thing, what ended up happening is I tried to submit it and then they saw my bet go through and they denied it and then they moved the line. So they basically take my information.
Oh, wow.
They take my information, they move the line, and they don't even give me anything, not even like $10 or something. But I mean, so what ends up happening after that is when they moved the Ecuador to 2.1, they also had the draw. They had to shift it, obviously, to like keep the same payback percentage. So the draw was like sitting at like 3.4 at William Hill. Like the sharp market was like maybe 3.6. So not really like any value there, but they're just trying to move to like stay in market. So instead of moving to 3.6 to match the market, now their trader accidentally adds an extra 0 to the end of the number. And instead of it being at 3.6, it's $27.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, if I try to take this in the app again, they're going to do the same thing. So I'm like, I can't take this in the app. So one of my like good buddies who like hangs out around like the sports books and stuff, I was just like willing to like feed him the information. It was like the perfect opportunity. He's half Italian, he's half Ecuadorian. So I'm like, if they say anything, all he has to do is say that I couldn't decide which team I want to bet. I just want to bet the draw. I don't know anything about the odds. So that's kind of the story that we went with. My hopes weren't that high that the bet would go through because obviously if it's a mistake, if a trader sees that bet's going through, it'd probably just get denied and they'd move the line. But surprisingly, the bet went through and I was just like completely shocked. My friend told me like the bet went through and I'm like, I can't believe it. Like they didn't even move the line. Let's go at it again. So it's like we're trying to take it again, but obviously that didn't work. But anyways, the game played out. Like there's like so many scoring opportunities for Ecuador. I think they were like completely dominating the match. We're on the edge of our seats at like the 87th minute mark, and like there was like a penalty call that was missed, and then like on VAR replay or whatever they were running at the time, the referee said, "Oh, no penalty." Anyways, the match ended up like 0-0, and like it was kind of nice because like variance obviously didn't keep us from having a good story there. So
yeah, don't try another 27-1 again, mate. Then your variance will really play out.
I mean, I don't know. I'm sure that that person, whoever let that bet go through or made that mistake, got into some kind of trouble.
Yeah. Oh man, surely. I mean, especially at a place like William Hill, they sound pretty ruthless.